Anton Raphael Mengs was born on March 22, 1728, in Ústí nad Labem, in what is now the Czech Republic. His father, Ismael Mengs, was a Danish painter who had settled in Dresden, Germany. Ismael was not only an artist, but also an art teacher, and he recognized his son's talent early on. He provided Anton with a rigorous artistic education, emphasizing the study of classical art and the works of the Renaissance masters. At the age of 13, Mengs moved to Rome with his father, where he continued his studies. This period in Rome was crucial for Mengs, as it allowed him to immerse himself in the works of Michelangelo, Raphael, and other Renaissance greats. This early exposure to classical art deeply influenced his style and laid the foundation for his later contributions to the Neoclassical movement. Mengs's early works were primarily religious and historical paintings, reflecting the Baroque tradition prevalent at the time. However, his time in Rome also exposed him to the burgeoning Neoclassical movement, which sought to revive the simplicity and grandeur of ancient Greek and Roman art. Mengs quickly became a leading figure in this movement, blending the idealized forms of classical art with the technical precision of the Renaissance. In 1744, at the young age of 16, Mengs was appointed as the court painter to Frederick Augustus II, Elector of Saxony, in Dresden. This position brought him significant prestige and allowed him to work on large-scale commissions, further honing his skills. His portraits from this period, such as the portrait of Frederick Augustus II, exhibit a meticulous attention to detail and a refined sense of composition. Mengs returned to Rome in 1749, where he established himself as one of the leading painters of his time. His reputation grew rapidly, and he became closely associated with other prominent artists and intellectuals, including Johann Joachim Winckelmann, the famous art historian. Winckelmann's writings on classical art profoundly influenced Mengs and reinforced his commitment to neoclassicism. One of Mengs's most significant works from this period is the Parnassus, a ceiling fresco in the Villa Albani in Rome. Completed in 1761, this fresco epitomizes the neoclassical ideal, with its harmonious composition, idealized figures, and clear references to ancient mythology. The Parnassus was widely acclaimed and solidified Mengs's reputation as a master of neoclassical art. Mengs' success in Rome led to numerous commissions from across Europe. He worked for various royal courts, including those of Spain, Naples, and England. In 1761, he was invited to Madrid by King Charles III of Spain, who appointed him as the court painter. Mengs spent several years in Spain, where he produced some of his most famous works, including the Portrait of Charles III and The Adoration of the Shepherds. His time in Spain also allowed him to interact with other prominent artists, such as Francisco Goya. Mengs's influence on Goya and other Spanish artists was significant, as he introduced them to the principles of neoclassicism and encouraged a move away from the ornate Rococo style that had dominated Spanish art. Mengs' contributions to art extended beyond his paintings. He was also a prolific writer and theorist, and his writings on art theory were highly influential. His treatise, Thoughts on Beauty and Taste in Painting, published in 1762, articulated his ideas on the importance of drawing inspiration from classical art and the need for artists to strive for ideal beauty. Mengs returned to Rome in 1777, where he continued to work on various commissions until his death in 1779. His later works, such as Jupiter and Ganymede and Helios and Aurora, demonstrate a continued refinement of his neoclassical style, characterized by its clarity, balance, and idealized forms. Mengs's impact on the art world was profound. He was instrumental in the development of the neoclassical movement, which sought to revive the artistic principles of ancient Greece and Rome. His emphasis on clarity, harmony, and idealized beauty influenced countless artists and helped to shape the direction of European art in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Anton Raphael Mengs's artistic style is characterized by a blend of classical idealism and meticulous realism. His paintings often feature smooth, polished surfaces and carefully rendered details, reflecting his mastery of traditional techniques. Mengs was particularly skilled in the use of chiaroscuro, the contrast between light and shadow, which he employed to create a sense of depth and volume in his figures. Mengs's compositions are marked by their balanced and harmonious arrangements, often drawing inspiration from classical mythology and history. His figures are idealized, with graceful poses and serene expressions, embodying the neoclassical ideals of beauty and perfection. Despite this idealization, Mengs also paid close attention to anatomical accuracy and the naturalistic depiction of fabrics and textures. One of the hallmarks of Mengs's technique was his use of color. He favored a subdued palette, with a focus on soft, harmonious tones that enhanced the sense of unity and coherence in his compositions. This restrained use of color was in line with the neoclassical emphasis on simplicity and clarity, as opposed to the vibrant and often chaotic color schemes of the preceding Rococo period. Among Mengs's most notable works are his portraits, which capture the elegance and dignity of his sitters with remarkable skill. His portrait of Johann Joachim Winckelmann, 1768, is a prime example, depicting the art historian with a thoughtful expression and a refined, classical demeanor. This portrait not only showcases Mengs's technical prowess, but also highlights his close relationship with Winckelmann, whose ideas were instrumental in shaping Mengs's artistic philosophy. Mengs's religious paintings also stand out for their solemn beauty and emotional depth. The Adoration of the Shepherds, 1770, painted during his time in Spain, is a masterful depiction of the nativity scene, with a composition that draws the viewer's eye to the central figures of Mary and the infant Jesus. The soft, radiant light that bathes the scene creates a sense of divine presence, enhancing the painting's spiritual impact. In addition to his individual paintings, Mengs made significant contributions to the development of neoclassical art through his work on large-scale decorative projects. His frescoes in the Villa Albani in Rome are among his most celebrated achievements, combining intricate detail with grand, architectural compositions. These works exemplify the neoclassical ideals of order, harmony, and reverence for classical antiquity. Anton Raphael Mengs' influence extended far beyond his own works. As a teacher and mentor, he played a crucial role in the dissemination of neoclassical principles to a new generation of artists. His students included some of the leading figures of the neoclassical movement, such as Antonio Canova, the renowned sculptor, and Francisco Goya, who would go on to become one of Spain's greatest painters. Mengs' writings on art theory also had a lasting impact. His treatises articulated a clear and coherent vision of neoclassical aesthetics, emphasizing the importance of studying classical art and nature to achieve ideal beauty. These ideas resonated with artists and critics across Europe, helping to establish neoclassicism as the dominant artistic style of the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Despite the success and acclaim he enjoyed during his lifetime, Mengs's reputation experienced fluctuations in the years following his death. The rise of Romanticism, with its emphasis on emotion and individual expression, led to a decline in the popularity of neoclassical art. However, Mengs's contributions to the development of European art were never forgotten, and his works continued to be admired for their technical excellence and classical beauty. In recent decades, there has been a renewed interest in neoclassical art, and Mengs's work has been re-evaluated and appreciated anew. His paintings are now recognized not only for their aesthetic qualities, but also for their role in the broader context of art history. Mengs's commitment to the principles of classical art and his ability to adapt and innovate within that framework have solidified his place as one of the key figures of the neoclassical movement. Anton Raphael Mengs was a pivotal figure in the history of European art, whose work bridged the gap between the Baroque and neoclassical periods. Through his paintings, writings, and teachings, Mengs helped to shape the course of art in the 18th century and beyond. His legacy is evident not only in the beautiful and meticulously crafted works he left behind, but also in the enduring influence of his ideas on subsequent generations of artists. Mengs's dedication to the ideals of beauty, harmony, and classical perfection continues to inspire and captivate art lovers and scholars alike. His life and work serve as a testament to the enduring power of classical art and its ability to speak to the human spirit across the ages. As we look back on the achievements of Anton Raphael Mengs, we are reminded of the timeless appeal of the classical tradition and the profound impact it has had on the development of Western art.